Good morning/afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our presentation. Today, we're going to explore the fascinating topic of the preamble of the Constitution. The preamble serves as the introduction to the entire Constitution. It explains the goals and principles that guided the makers of our Constitution. Essentially, it reflects their vision for our nation's future. Over the next few slides, we'll delve into what the preamble is, why it's important, and how it sets the tone for the entire document. Let's get started. Today, I want to talk about a very significant milestone in India's history, the adoption of our Constitution. It was officially adopted on the 26th of November, 1949. This was a crucial moment because it marked the end of colonial rule and the beginning of a new era of self-governance for India. The Constitution didn't come into effect immediately after adoption. It officially came into force on the 26th of January, 1950. This date is particularly important because it is celebrated every year as Republic Day in India. This entire process, the adoption and implementation of the Constitution, represents our collective journey towards establishing a democratic and inclusive nation. It's a reminder of the values we stand for and the responsibilities we hold as citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, in this slide, we see the foundational aspirations of our nation. When we say, "We, the people of India," it emphasizes that the power and authority lie with us, the citizens. The resolution to establish India as a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic highlights our commitment to independence, social justice, religious harmony, and democratic values. Our goal is to secure justice, social, economic, and political, for all citizens, ensuring fairness and equality. We also cherish liberty, freedom of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship as essential rights that allow us to live authentically and confidently. Equality is another cornerstone. Opportunity and status should be accessible to everyone, regardless of background. And finally, promoting fraternity is about fostering a sense of brotherhood, respect, and dignity among all citizens, which in turn strengthens the unity and integrity of our nation. All these principles are interconnected and form the core of what India stands for, guiding us toward a just, free, and united society. Now, let's look at the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976, which was a significant moment in the history of our Constitution. This amendment added 3 important words to the preamble: socialist, secular, and integrity. These words reflect the core values that our Constitution aims to uphold. By including socialist, the focus is on establishing a society that promotes social and economic equality. Secular emphasizes that the state will treat all religions equally, promoting harmony among diverse communities. And integrity underscores the importance of national unity and honesty in the functioning of the government. These additions were meant to strengthen the foundational principles of our democracy and guide the nation towards a more just and inclusive society. They are not just words. They are a reflection of the ideals that we strive to embody as a nation. Some ideas in the preamble were inspired by other constitutions. For example, the famous phrase liberty, equality, fraternity comes from the ideals of the French Revolution, which emphasized these core principles as a foundation for a new society. You can see how these concepts aim to promote freedom, equal rights, and brotherhood among citizens. Similarly, the phrase justice, liberty, equality appears in the preamble to the United States Constitution. These ideas have a strong influence on shaping the values and goals expressed in our own Constitution. By understanding these influences, we can see how different countries have contributed to the shaping of our fundamental principles. It's a reminder that our Constitution is part of a broader conversation about rights, justice, and governance that has taken place across many nations. This interconnectedness helps us appreciate the universal importance of these ideals in building fair and just societies. Sovereignty, at its core, means the supreme power, the highest authority that a nation holds. And for India, this was a milestone moment when we became a sovereign nation in 1947. What does that really mean? It means that India is now free to make its own decisions on all internal matters, like governance, policies, and development. But it also extends to external matters, such as foreign relations and international agreements. Since 15th August 1947, India has enjoyed both internal and external sovereignty, which is fundamental to our independence and identity as a nation. This sovereignty gives us the power to shape our destiny, to choose our paths, and to stand confidently on the world stage. It's a key part of our journey as a nation and ties directly into the broader theme of sovereignty as the foundation of our independence and national pride. Now, let's look at how the government works to reduce inequality. Their goal here is to promote economic justice and improve the welfare of the people. Essentially, this means creating a more fair and balanced society where everyone has access to opportunities and resources. When we talk about promoting economic justice, we're referring to policies and actions that aim to address disparities in wealth and income. The government might implement social programs, tax reforms, or public services that help lift those who are less fortunate. The slide also highlights the term socialist, which connects to the idea of a government actively involved in redistributing resources and ensuring social welfare. While different countries might approach this differently, the core principle is about reducing inequality and fostering a more equitable society. Overall, this fits into our broader theme of understanding how different systems and policies impact social and economic equality across nations. The state does not follow any official religion, which means there is no state religion mandated or endorsed by the government. This helps ensure that all citizens, regardless of their faith or belief system, are treated equally under the law. All religions are given equal respect and recognition, fostering a culture of religious neutrality. When we say the country is secular, it emphasizes the separation between religion and government, allowing for a fair and inclusive society where no one is privileged or disadvantaged because of their religious beliefs. This approach supports the overall theme of promoting equality and coexistence among diverse communities. When we talk about a government being of the people, by the people for the people, we're highlighting a fundamental principle of democracy. It means that the power truly rests with the citizens. People have the authority to choose their leaders through elections, which is a key feature of democratic systems. This process ensures that the government reflects the will of the people and serves their interests. So, in essence, democracy is about giving ordinary people a voice and a say in how their country is run. It's a system that emphasizes participation, representation, and accountability, tying back to our overall theme of empowering individuals within the political framework. The head of the state is elected, which means they are chosen by the people or their representatives rather than inheriting the position. In India, we have a president who serves as the head of the state. Unlike a hereditary king, whose position is passed down through family lines, the president is elected through a democratic process. This is a key feature of a republic, where the power ultimately resides with the people. So, when we say India is a republic, we're emphasizing that our leadership is based on election and the will of the people, rather than tradition or heredity. This setup reflects our commitment to democracy and the idea that leadership should be chosen through a fair and transparent process. Now, let's talk about the three main types of justice that are essential for a fair society. First, we have social justice, which aims to ensure that there is no discrimination based on caste, religion, or other social divisions. This type of justice promotes equality and respect for everyone, regardless of their background. Next is economic justice, which focuses on reducing the gap between the rich and the poor. It's about creating opportunities for all and making sure wealth is distributed more fairly. Lastly, there's political justice, which guarantees equal political rights for all citizens. This means everyone should have an equal say in how their country is run. These three types of justice are interconnected, and together they form the foundation for building a just and equitable society. They support the overall theme of fairness and equality that runs throughout this presentation. Let's take a moment to reflect on the foundational principles that uphold our freedoms. When we talk about freedom of thought, we're emphasizing the right to have our own ideas and opinions without fear of censorship or repression. It's about intellectual independence and the ability to explore different perspectives. Freedom of expression is closely related. It allows us to share those thoughts openly, to communicate our beliefs and opinions to others. This openness fosters dialogue and understanding in society. Belief and faith are deeply personal, yet crucial, aspects of our freedom. They give us the space to hold our convictions, whether religious or philosophical, without interference. Worship is the expression of those beliefs, which is why the freedom to worship freely is so vital. It lets individuals practice their faith in accordance with their conscience. Finally, liberty encompasses all these freedoms, reminding us that they are interconnected. Together, they form the core of a society where individuals can live authentically and without undue restriction. In the context of our overall discussion, these freedoms are essential pillars that support a just and open society, where human dignity and diversity are respected and protected. Let's take a closer look at two important dimensions of equality. First, there's equality of status, which refers to ensuring that everyone is recognized as equal in social standing. Then, we have equality of opportunity, meaning that everyone should have an equal chance to succeed regardless of their background. It's also crucial to remember that everyone is equal before the law. This principle guarantees that no one is above the law or receives special treatment. Everyone is subject to the same rules and protections. When we talk about equality in a broader sense, we're emphasizing the importance of fairness and justice in society. These concepts are fundamental because they help create a more inclusive and equitable environment for all individuals. By understanding these dimensions, we can better appreciate how equality shapes our legal systems and societal structures, reinforcing our overall goal of fairness for everyone. Promotes brotherhood among citizens, which is really about fostering a sense of kinship and mutual support within our community. When people feel connected and united, it creates a stronger, more resilient society. Ensuring unity and integrity of the nation is essential because it helps us stay cohesive, especially during challenging times. These concepts of fraternity and unity are fundamental to the overall strength and stability of our country. They remind us that, despite our differences, we are all part of the same national fabric. This slide highlights how important it is to build bonds of brotherhood, as it ultimately leads to a more harmonious and united nation. Now, here you see the original copies of the Constitution of India, available in both Hindi and English. These precious documents are carefully preserved in special helium-filled cases within the Library of the Parliament of India, ensuring their safety and longevity. Moving to a broader historical context, let's talk about the Magna Carta, which was issued by King John of England in 1215. This was a significant milestone because it was the first written document that addressed the fundamental rights of citizens. It was created under pressure from the barons, who sought to limit the king's power and secure certain rights for themselves and others. Both the Indian Constitution and the Magna Carta represent important moments in the development of legal protections for citizens' rights. They highlight the importance of documenting and safeguarding fundamental freedoms, which is a core theme of our overall discussion on the evolution of rights and governance. Let's look at what some key figures said about the preamble. Sir Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, who was a member of the Constituent Assembly, described the preamble as a reflection of our hopes and dreams. He said it expresses what we had thought or dreamt for so long, capturing the essence of our collective aspirations. Now, K.M. Munshi, another important member of the drafting committee, called the preamble the horoscope of our sovereign democratic republic. This means it acts like a guiding star, giving us a snapshot of what our democracy stands for and what we aim to achieve as a nation. Both these perspectives highlight the importance of the preamble as more than just an introduction. It's a statement of our ideals, our dreams, and our identity as a nation. It connects directly to our overall theme today, understanding the core principles that define our Constitution and our nation's soul. let's take a moment to consider the profound words of Pandit Thakur Das Bhargava, a respected member of the Constituent Assembly. He emphasized that the preamble is truly the most precious part of the Constitution. In fact, he described it as the very soul of our Constitution, highlighting its deep importance. He also called it a key, implying that it unlocks the meaning and spirit of the entire document. Additionally, he referred to it as a jewel set within the Constitution, symbolizing its value and beauty. Finally, he pointed out that the preamble serves as a yardstick, something we can use to measure the worth and integrity of the Constitution itself. These insights remind us that the preamble isn't just introductory words, it's the guiding essence that reflects the core principles and aspirations of our nation. As we continue our discussion, keep in mind how this foundational part shapes our understanding of the Constitution's true purpose. Let's talk about the importance of the preamble in our Constitution. Sir Ernest Barker, a well-known English political scientist, described the preamble as the keynote to the Constitution. This means that it sets the tone and the overall spirit of the document, guiding how we interpret and understand the rest of the Constitution. It's like the opening melody that influences the entire symphony. Now, M. Hidyatullah, who served as the Chief Justice of India, made an interesting comparison. He said that the preamble resembles the Declaration of Independence of the United States, which is a powerful statement of principles and ideals. But he also pointed out that the preamble is more than just a declaration. It embodies the core values and aspirations of our nation. It's not just a statement of intent. It reflects the soul of India's constitution and its guiding principles. So, in essence, the preamble isn't just an introductory statement. It's a fundamental part of our Constitution that captures our collective dreams, values, and ideals. It helps us remember what we stand for as a nation and guides the interpretation of the entire legal framework. This is why understanding the preamble is so crucial to grasping the spirit of our Constitution and what it aims to achieve. In 1960, the Supreme Court delivered a significant judgment regarding the preamble. They stated that the preamble is not actually a part of the Constitution itself. This means that it cannot be used as a source of power for the government to make laws or take actions. The key point here is that, although the preamble reflects the spirit and the ideals of the Constitution, it doesn't have legal binding power. This case was important because it was the first major decision that discussed the constitutional status of the preamble. It set a precedent for how we understand the role of the preamble in constitutional law. The case involved the Birubari Union, and this judgment helped clarify that the preamble guides the interpretation of the Constitution, but doesn't directly influence its legal provisions. This understanding is essential as we look at how the Constitution's principles are applied in practice, and how the judiciary views the preamble's role in our legal framework. In 1973, a landmark judgment was delivered by the Supreme Court that really shaped our constitutional understanding. The court ruled that the preamble is not just an introductory statement, but an integral part of the Constitution itself. This was a significant point because it emphasized that the preamble holds weight when interpreting the Constitution's provisions. The judgment also made it clear that Parliament cannot alter the basic structure of the Constitution. This concept, known as the Basic Structure Doctrine, was introduced here and became a cornerstone for constitutional law. It acts as a safeguard, ensuring that certain fundamental features of our Constitution remain unchanged, no matter what amendments are made. This case, known as the Kesavananda Bharati case, is often regarded as a turning point. It reaffirmed the importance of the preamble in understanding the Constitution's true spirit and purpose. Overall, this judgment underscored the idea that while the Constitution can evolve, its core principles and fundamental features must be protected from arbitrary changes. In 1995, a significant judgment was made by the Supreme Court regarding the preamble of the Constitution. The court explicitly stated that the preamble is not just an introductory statement, but an integral part of the Constitution itself. This means that the preamble holds a vital role in understanding the Constitution's core principles. It helps us grasp the objectives and the underlying philosophy behind the entire document. For example, in the case of LIC of India v. Consumer Education and Research Center, the court emphasized that the preamble provides essential insights into the spirit and fundamental values of our Constitution. Recognizing the preamble as an integral part of the Constitution reinforces its importance in interpreting constitutional provisions and understanding the true intent behind laws and rights. This judgment is a key milestone because it highlights how the preamble guides constitutional interpretation and underscores the foundational ideals our nation was built upon. It ties into the broader theme of understanding the Constitution's purpose and the principles that shape our legal and political framework. Today, I want to tell you about Prem Bihari Narain Raizada, a remarkable individual in Indian history. He was a renowned calligraphy artist from Delhi who took on the extraordinary task of handwriting the entire Constitution of India, including the preamble. Imagine the precision and dedication required to produce such a beautiful document. His handwriting was in a lovely italic style, which made the Constitution not just a legal document, but also a work of art. What's truly inspiring is that he did this work without accepting any payment. His only request was that his name be included on every page of the Constitution, acknowledging his contribution. And on the last page, he added his name along with his grandfather, making it a personal and family tribute. The original manuscript wasn't just written by him. It was decorated by talented artists from Shantiniketan, under the supervision of the renowned artist Nandalal Bose. This collaboration resulted in a masterpiece that combines legal importance with artistic beauty, symbolizing India's rich cultural heritage. This story highlights the dedication and passion of individuals who contributed selflessly to shaping our nation, emphasizing the deep respect for knowledge, art, and patriotism that runs through our history.